Today's video, I'm going to teach you this design right here. Okay, I do not know the name of this pattern. I thought it was kind of cool. It was something different. I liked this part of it. It starts off with a circle. So we are going to put a circle inside of a square. A circle does fit perfectly inside of a square. The highest point of the curve touches the very center between the two corners. It touches the very center. So if you ever want to draw a perfect circle, draw a square first. And notice these cross lines. This is the center, and this is the center, and this is from corner to corner, corner to corner. And each one of these slices of the pie are exact same size. So a circle fits inside of a square, and it fits just perfectly. You notice that there is more room from this corner to here on each of the corners. So when we do this design, when we're trying to transition the circle into a square, we have to do a little extra work on the corner to make up for this gap of space. Whereas right here, it touches. To begin our circle, we have to start with loading our crochet hook. Here's my tail, and it goes around my thumb. I'm just kind of holding it with my fingers. We place our crochet hook under that. I'm holding it with my thumb. Then we take the tail and we go around the needle and between the thumb. And then this loop that's on my thumb, pass it over the top, and then we pull tight, and that's our first stitch. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a chain of 4 stitches. Stick our hook in the first stitch. Oops, I got a split stitch here. Pull up a loop and slip it through our last. That's going to create our loop or circle. Chain 1, chain 2, and then we're going to do 16 double crochets in this circle. Now I know it doesn't look like a circle right now, but it will. It kind of stretches as we get going. So in there, in the center loop, we have 3 stitches, hook, pull it through 2, hook, pull it through 2. That's a double crochet. We're just going to keep doing that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, I didn't get that last stitch. 4. Oops. 5. 6, 15, and 16. Yep, it's a very tight. But before I finish off, I'm going to just go around and count to make sure that I do have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16. See how the hole, you can see it now? Because it kind of stretched a bit. Now I'm going to slip in the top of this first one and just do a slip stitch, and that is round 2. I'm going to cut my thread because I'm going to change color, and I like to pull my thread to the back and come into a space between our stitches. Just come into a space. See the gaps? Just pick a spot and we pull up a loop. And to begin with, we chain 2. 1, 2, and in the same place we'll do a double crochet. Right, before we go to the next space, we need to chain 1. Sorry, said the wrong thing. Now we're going to go to the next space between the double crochets of the previous row, and that tail's in my way. And we're going to start to do a double crochet, but we're not going to finish it. We're just going to pull it through the first 2, and then we're going to go in like we're going to start a second one in the same place, second double crochet, and pull it through the first 2. So right now we have 3 stitches on our needle. We've kind of did half of the double crochet. Now we hook it and we pull it through all 3. And then what that does is it sort of makes a petal shape, like a daisy or a sunflower, because it's wide in the middle, skinny on the bottom, wide in the middle, and skinny on top, which is part of the pattern. So we chain 1 between, and then we're just going to repeat. Go to the next space, start like you're going to do a double crochet, but only pull it through the first 2. Then start another like you're going to do a double crochet and only pull it through the first 2. So now we have 3 stitches on our needle. Hook and pull it through all 3. Then we want a space, so we do a chain 1. And we're going to repeat this. So we're going to do this like 16 times. Why the number 16? Because 16 divided by 4 is 4. We need to have a perfect circle that's going to fit exactly inside of a perfect square. So yes, there's some math involved here. And yeah, we have to constantly count to keep track of. And it's helpful to count while you're doing it, but you can always go back and count once you're familiar with how things look, what the stitches are supposed to look like, what the different sections are supposed to look like. The more you do it, the more familiar you get with it, and then you're able to identify what the stitches are. I remember when I first started, it was like so confusing if you lost your place or you lost your mental thought. But now I don't even know how much stuff I've crocheted and all the things I've done. Whoops, all 3. Single space in between, because we want a little gap in between each one of those. I am going to finish this off, and then I will come back to do the next part. Okay, I've gone all the way around. I have 16 of those. I made my single chain there. Now we go into the top of that first stitch and we just do a slip stitch, and then we will cut and tie off this end, pulling my thread to the back. Round 4. The first round was the loop. This is the second round. That's the third round, and now we're going to start round 4. Just go to one of these spaces between our like petal shapes. Pull up a loop. To start off, we chain 3, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same space, so that it will look like 3 double crochets when we're finished. The first chain 3 space is the first double crochet. We go to the next space and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I'll go a little bit slower so I can, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, hook it, go and pick up a loop, hook, pull it through the first 2, hook, pull it through the second 2. Repeat 2 more times. Hook it, pull it through 2, pull it through 2, okay, hook, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. We have 1, 2, 3 double crochets in the same hole, same space. Go to the next and just continue. We will do this all the way around until we have each of the spaces between the white petals. See, this is what makes, when we do this row, it makes these look like daisy petals, because it makes them look pointed. I just want to clarify on this row, do not put a chain between the double crochets. We are putting 3 stitches in one space, so it's already expanding the circle, so it's wider on the outside edge. If you put a chain between these 3 double crochets, it's going to make your circle not be flat. See how mine's nice and flat? If it starts to curl, then you got too many stitches. So that's why we did the space on that row, but we're not doing the space on this row. Okay, I'm all the way back to the beginning. So I go to the top of that chain and I just do a slip stitch and I'll cut because I'm going to change colors of thread. Pull my thread underneath. Okay, so we have our circle, which sort of looks like a daisy. You know, if you did it with like yellow and that, or brown and gold, it could look like a black-eyed Susie, but it sort of looks like a daisy. And this is a circle, and now we have to transition it to fit the square.